No way this happened, as it was announced on Wednesday that James Harden fractured his thumb versus the New York Knicks. Harden has already missed a game, but there is a positive update regarding Harden's return date. Hello everyone, Evan Carocchio welcoming you into another Cavs Digest video. Hope you are having a great Thursday and your week is going well. Some tough news to talk about today as James Harden has fractured his right thumb in the game versus the New York Knicks, in which the Cavaliers won that game. He already missed the game versus the Milwaukee Bucks, but losing James Harden for any amount of time is a tough loss. Let's take a look at the post that was sent out yesterday by Shams that explains Harden's injury. At 2 p.m. on Wednesday, this was posted on X by Shams, which explains James Harden's injury. Cleveland Cavaliers star James Harden sustained a fracture in his right thumb during Tuesday's win over the New York Knicks. Harden is undergoing further evaluations and treatment. Like I said, losing James Harden for even a game is a huge loss, in which the Cavs lost by 2 points to the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee, which ended another potential win streak after their win versus the New York Knicks. Obviously, 2-point loss is not a big deal whatsoever, and they could have tied the game with a Jarrett Allen putback. A loss is a loss. That's for another video. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Should have counted. I'm not mad about it. Like I said, they did not have Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, Max Strus still yet to return, and they also did not have Evan Mobley. But the Bucks did not have Giannis Antetokounmpo, obviously one of the best players in the league. So a 2-point loss without any of these players involved is still, decent for the Cavaliers. But it looks like the Cavaliers were missing a facilitator out there. We're missing a scorer out there. And James Harden, since joining the Cavaliers in just 7 games playing, has been just playing phenomenally. He has been one of the leading scorers on the team, and he has shown out when it mattered the most. He has put the scoring pressure off of Donovan Mitchell, and he has been assisting Donovan Mitchell as much as possible, Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen beautifully. We couldn't have asked for a better player to trade for when he was involved in that Darius Garland trade, in which Darius Garland is now a Clipper. So let's take a look at James Harden's stats since joining the Cleveland Cavaliers, in which I said he has been playing phenomenally since joining the Cavs. It looks like he's been a Cavalier his whole career. He got comfortable right away. James Harden has balled up when it mattered the most. In just 7 games with the Cleveland Cavaliers, he has averaged just about 19 points, 8 assists, and almost 5 rebounds per game, along with almost a steal per game and almost a block per game. James Harden is also shooting just about 50% from the field goal line since joining the Cleveland Cavaliers. James Harden has looked very comfortable, and not even a day after joining the Cavaliers practice squad, whatever you want to call it, practices, he immediately got in and balled up for the Cavaliers. Like I said, it looks like he has been a Cavalier his whole career. James Harden also balled up when we needed him the most against the Denver Nuggets, in which he almost dropped a triple-double. 22 points, 10 boards, 7 assists. Couldn't have asked for a better game against an amazing team in which the Cavaliers got the win against. He has taken the scoring pressure off of Donovan Mitchell. His assists have been phenomenal. It's so fun to watch him throw up a lob to Mobley or even Donovan Mitchell or Jarrett Allen. So not having him has been huge for the Cavaliers, and they already lost yesterday without him in the lineup. Having him definitely would have been a plus. They would have won last night versus the Bucks to start another win streak. There would have been a 2-game win streak, but instead they are now no longer on a potential win streak. Not even a few hours after the news of James Harden being injured came out, there was a positive update that came out. Let's take a look at that positive update that came out late yesterday afternoon. Shams talked about it on television yesterday, almost a few hours after he talked about James Harden's injury. James Harden does not need surgery. This is huge. James Harden does not need surgery, which means he is not going to miss any time. It is also huge that James Harden will only have to put a splint on his thumb or wrap it up. He avoids potentially needing a cast. No surgery, no cast, just a splint or a wrap. Both positive news. Another positive thing that came out yesterday, James Harden plans on playing through his broken thumb. This is huge. This means that he could come back versus the Detroit Pistons tomorrow night. 1 seed versus the Cavaliers, a must-win game for the Cavaliers to move up in the Eastern Conference standing. So, this is huge that James Harden plans on coming back and playing with a broken thumb. This shows how tough James Harden is. But this is also kind of a little rush, if you ask me. James Harden might be affected with his broken thumb. He might have to acclimate to a different shooting form. Obviously, James Harden is a lefty, so it is not affecting his shooting hand whatsoever. But it will affect the way that he catches the ball when he shoots and goes up with it. He might have to grasp the ball, catch it right here, and then grasp it right here and shoot. It will affect the way that he dives for loose balls. It might affect the way that he has to rebound. He might average less rebounds per game while being injured. He might not shoot the ball right away. He might have to pass it if he bobbles with the ball. And he might not also be able to get as many rebounds as he has been grabbing since joining the Cavaliers. There are concerns if he will return to full strength from multiple NBA reporters, and even the Cavaliers are a bit skeptical, but James Harden wants to come back right away and play, and this shows how dedicated he is to the Cavaliers and how much heart he has as an NBA player. But let's talk about the science behind playing with a broken component or a injured part of your body. A major NBA player who played through an injury and ended up hurting himself even more was Kyle Lowry on the Raptors. Here he is with a wrap over his thumb. Kyle Lowry played through an injury in the Raptors in 2019. But in the offseason, because he played through the injury, he ended up hurting it even more and had to get surgery. Hopefully, this is not the case for James Harden. Hopefully, he can go out there and avoid surgery altogether and avoid it in the offseason so he doesn't have to get used to playing with a new modified surgery thumb. Kyle Lowry did have to have this affect him a little bit after getting surgery. Another player like Kyle Lowry who played through an injury and it ended up affecting them more was Stephen Curry. In 2025, Stephen Curry hurt his hand, and he said in post games that it had affected him, and it affected him shooting, and he was in pain. Same with Joel Embiid in 2022, who also played through a broken hand and a ligament in his hand that was also hurting him. So, if you ask me, I believe that James Harden is coming back right into this way too soon. He needs to slow down and potentially take another game off and go to the practice, put up shots, see how it feels. And he also needs to let it stretch out, work his thumb out, ice it, and not jump in right away. I admire his heart. I admire his passion. I admire his drive to want to come back and play. But I believe that he should wait another game. Hopefully he comes back and he's 100% because a win versus the Detroit Pistons would be huge. They just beat the injured Thunder, so they're coming off of a hot streak right now. But versus the Pistons, this would move us up in the Eastern Conference standings, and having Harden back would be phenomenal. So I'm really hoping that he takes it easy, and he is 100% when he comes back, because the James Harden that has been a Cavalier has been so fun to watch and such a phenomenal NBA player. So injuries are inevitable. I feel like I've said this a lot. Unfortunately, the Cavs have had injuries, which really stinks, but no team can really, unfortunately, avoid them. Not having Harden last night did affect them. They would have won with him there, especially without Giannis Antetokounmpo being there. So hopefully he does come back tomorrow. But like I said, I am also hoping that he takes some time and he reworks his thumb and he sees what it's like shooting, so he doesn't force himself back right into playing and re-aggravate it and potentially miss extended time with a broken thumb. That's it for today's video. Hopefully James Harden is all right. Hopefully he comes back tomorrow. Hopefully he also takes my advice. I'm torn up. Let me know in the comments if you want him back right away or if you think he should take some time to heal himself and see what it's like to shoot with a broken thumb. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you are not subscribed to Cavs Digest. Please subscribe for more news, injury updates, score updates, and post and pregame shows. That's all for me tonight. Have a great rest of your week and take care.